Hello and welcome to Wastelands Raceway. Welcome back if you've been before, and if not, welcome anyway. Those of you who watched my armour plate tutorial will probably recognise this fella. He's the Land Rover that I put this armoured plate onto. Just this one here, riveted armour plate. What I've done now is filled in the windows. Now I did film myself filling these windows, but the footage was rubbish, so I've got the finished article here. But I just thought I'd discuss some other techniques you can use for armouring up the windows on your Gaslands vehicles. So those of you who did see the armour plate tutorial, this armour plate over the sunroof here, that'll be familiar to you. This is just aluminium foil. I have done a separate tutorial on how to do these plates, so they're well worth a look if you're interested in that. Moving on to the windscreen, pretty much standard Gaslands fare. I've put a mesh in the windscreen. Now, what I use for my windscreen mesh is this. It's a frying pan splash cover. I picked it up cheap from one of the cheap shops, might have been Poundland, might be something else, I can't remember now, but yeah, it's easy to cut, it's flexible yet stiff, it's easy to use. Just need to be aware that you do get very sharp little spikes on the bits you cut. If you leave them on the floor, chances are your wife will stand on them, if you're anything like me, and then she'll complain to you about it, so don't say you weren't warned if that happens to you. What I've also done is stuck a little spar up the front middle of the windscreen as a strengthener, as an arm, whatever, aesthetic. It's quite nice. Now what I've used for that is an old coffee stirrer. See, just a piece of that, just a piece of the very edge. It's a piece of the very edge of the coffee stirrer. It's a nice little thing, and it was free, which is good. That's a 4-letter word we're allowed to use. Moving around the vehicle, I've got this affair. I've just thought probably in my mind is kind of a slidey armour plate that the driver can slide back or forward depending on whether he needs to be seeing or protecting himself from bullets. Again, this is just my trusty coffee stirrer. Snipped off a bit from the top and a bit from the bottom, made the sliders, and the panel itself is just a piece of card that's been cut. So yeah, it works for me. I think it looks all right. Moving on, the back window. I've got 3 bars in there, I don't even see, but that's just brass wire that I've cut to size. This is brass wire. I think it's probably a millimetre, maybe half a mil, I don't know, but it's small, it's little. And I cut them to size, glued them in place to do a barred window, which, you know, looks all right, works. Wouldn't stop any bullets, but you know, it stops someone climbing into the vehicle. In the back window, you see this, I've got a textured piece of plastic. Now I got this from, I went to the charity shop and I picked up a naff old Jeep thing that I bought for 30p, and I'm salvaging it for parts. And it worked quite well for me. I think it's quite a nice little sort of textured thing there. We've got the 2 windows in the back. I've left them open. The reason I left them open is so people can shoot out of them if they have to. But you know, mesh would work in there. Anything, maybe just even a piece of card, just as a sheet welded onto the inside. But so that's the windows that I've done for the Land Rover, which won't go back together because I'm putting it in upside down. So that's the Land Rover armoured up. I'll do the same on the other side, get the windows finished, and then look at what else I can do. Might stick a ram, I might stick some more armour on, but I'll probably do a video on that. So that's him done. Some finished articles here. So here's a monster truck I've done. I'm quite pleased with them. I've got corrugated metal armour on it. Standard mesh window in the windscreen there. The side window, that's literally just a piece of cardboard with a slot cut in it, stuck on the inside of the window, just to, yeah, to armour it up a bit, make it look a bit more wastelandsy. The armour on the side here, believe it or not, is corrugated cardboard. If you look at packaging, particularly for small things. This was dog biscuits, believe it or not. If you strip the outside coating off very carefully, maybe get it damp and do it, then you can lift the outer paper off, and underneath, with some of the smaller packaging, you get very fine corrugations, which are pretty good scale wise for corrugated sheet for your 1/64 models. So that's one that I've done there. Another one here. Now there's some smaller panels of corrugated stuff stuck all over this chap here. Now, in addition to using cardboard packaging, you can also use, for smaller pieces, one of these, which is just those, you know, UHT milk carton things that you can get in coffee shops, hotels, restaurants, whatever. So you cut that down, and then you can stick it in place. So that's another thing you can do, and the beauty of this is you can push blowers into it because it's quite soft. And also, I don't know if you can see, but the texture on it here, that's kind of rusty and rough. That's just a happy accident from the rattle can that I used. Obviously the propellant in the rattle can erodes the plastic slightly. There you go, that's a nice result there. And various bits and pieces, so as you can see I've broken it off. Cocktail stick toothpick for spikes, and then there's another bean there. That again is the old coffee stirrer on there. That works quite nicely. And then obviously we've got the finished one here, which has featured before. This is the Big Air Bel Air with the armour plating on. But in terms of windows, all I've used is mesh for the side windows, mesh for the windscreen with a little piece of aluminium foil just to make an armoured plate in the front. And it's got a piece of plastic with another chunk of my trusty coffee stirrer to make a big old tombstone in the back. So there you go, Gaslands Cars windows. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, then pop us a like, pop us a comment, whatever. If you haven't, then don't. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's been useful. Bye for now. See you again next time.